Get away from me. That's the first thing that went through my mind that night. The wind, sharp and cold, whispering warnings through the pines, matching the hard, heavy beat of my heart. The night wrapped around my old cabin like a dark blanket, but I could feel it coming. A storm, and not the kind that shakes branches loose. No, this was the sort of trouble you can smell in the air long before you see it. Then it happened. Headlights. Angry, glaring, slicing right through the trees. SUV after SUV crunching up my gravel drive, blocking me in like they were the law, and this was their country. My place felt smaller with every car door that slammed. The last to pull up, red blazer, high heels, a hurricane on 2 feet. Veronica, head of the HOA, already marching up to my porch, folder in hand like a battle flag. We warned you, Alex. Tonight you're out. The board voted, you're finished. You broke too many rules. Her voice was so smug I almost laughed. Almost. I gripped the porch rail, so tight my hands hurt. You can't kick me out. I own this cabin. You know that, right? She just grinned, cold, like a winter morning. We've got the right. You ignored our meetings, our fines. We're calling the police if you don't pack your things. Or you can leave quiet. Your call. The rest of the board stood behind her, arms crossed, faces blank, part of some HOA machine that grinds people up. Mark, the tall one, leaned in, voice low. Or we can make this ugly, buddy. In that moment, I could have snapped. But I didn't. I just smiled, slow and steady, because they didn't know what I knew. They didn't know the lake they swam in, the clubhouse they used, the lot they parked in. Hell, this whole place existed because my grandfather bought it decades ago, and most of it still belonged to me, tucked away under an LLC they'd never bothered to look up. You know what I mean? Sometimes the biggest cards are the ones you don't show. Veronica stepped closer, waving her folder. Biggest mistake of your life, I told her, and right then, like fate itself was waiting. A police cruiser pulled in, blue lights bouncing off every smug face in the lot. What's going on here? The cop asked, cool as you please. Veronica jumped in. This man's trespassing. Eviction order. Waving her paper. The cop read it, raised an eyebrow. This isn't a legal eviction, ma'am. This is an HOA notice. Doesn't hold up. He's not going anywhere tonight. I thought Veronica might faint, but she rallied. This isn't over, Alex. You'll regret it. No, Veronica, I said, grinning wider. You will. When they left, their tail lights fading, I stood under that big old Florida sky, feeling the storm inside me settle. But not for long. Next morning, a blood-red notice was nailed to my door. Follow the new rules, or else. I laughed. They were scared, and scared people make mistakes. That day by the lake, I met Lisa, brand new neighbor, already being hounded about her fence color. I told her, don't worry, things are about to change around here. She just looked at me, not quite believing. That evening, the HOA came back, this time not just with threats, but with workers. They headed straight for my dock, the dock my grandfather built, where I learned to fish, where my parents taught me to swim, where I kissed my late wife for the first time. Rip it out, Veronica yelled. If he won't follow the rules, he loses the perks. My anger hit a new level. I ran toward them. Stop. You touch that dock, you'll regret it. They laughed, hammered away, boards splintering, memories crashing into the lake. I could barely breathe. But instead of fighting, I pulled out my phone and recorded every last second. Veronica sneered. Delete it, or what? I cut her off. Call your little HOA police. The dock was half gone by sunset. As they left, Veronica called out, pack your things. This is only the beginning. I just stared at what was left, something inside me hardening into steel. They had no idea what was coming. Next day, I met with David, my old friend and a sharp lawyer. I laid it all out, original deed, lake ownership, parking lot rights. David grinned. Alex, this isn't just a comeback. This is checkmate. They can't run a meeting, can't have a party, can't even park without you. I shook my head. I just want them to stop bullying folks. To remember what communities is supposed to mean. That evening, Lisa, groceries in hand, told me she'd been fined for trash cans in plain sight. They're making life hell. Hang in, I said. It's almost over. But the HOA wasn't done. At midnight, engines roared again. Tow truck this time, chains on the lot gate. Veronica's voice rose over the racket. If we can't control him, we'll block him in. He's done here. My anger boiled over. You crossed the line for the last time. But still, I waited. You never play your ace too soon. Days went by, more inspections, more threats, more neighbors coming by, some whispering thanks, some scared to talk. Every time they stepped over the line, I filmed it. Lisa warned me. Veronica's planning something big. Let her, I shrugged. She's standing on sand. Then the bulldozer came. I'll never forget it. Headlights glaring, engines idling, the whole board standing together, Veronica up front. You want a war, Alex? You got one, she shouted. The dozer revved, slammed my fence to pieces, crowd cheering like a lynch mob. My phone was rolling the whole time. My jaw clenched, my voice cutting through the noise. Touch my cabin, and you'll wish you hadn't. And that's when the real cops came, red and blue lights, sirens screaming, officers with flashlights and guns. Step away from the machine. Hands up. Veronica tried to argue. This is HOA business. Sheriff wasn't having it. It's called a crime, ma'am. They left in handcuffs, Mark shouting. This isn't over. Veronica's glare promised revenge. Next morning, I watched the mist lift off the lake, feeling the weight of every battle I'd fought. David brought news. They used your lot as collateral for their HOA loans. You can fence it off today if you want. By nightfall, the lot was fenced, a sign big as a billboard. Private property. No HOA access. Violators prosecuted. When Veronica arrived, she nearly lost her mind. You can't do this. I handed her the deed. I just did. The HOA threatened court, but I was ready. And then, because trouble never comes alone, they set the lot on fire. Middle of the night, flames licking the sky, my fence and sign going up in smoke. I caught it all on camera. Mark, gas cans, guilty as sin. The sheriff saw the footage, shook his head. They're done, Alex. This goes to the DA. Arrests made the front page. Neighbors started coming by to say thanks. And Lisa even brought cookies for my trouble. But Veronica vanished. No calls, no threats, just silence. You ever felt a calm that makes you nervous? Then, the note. On my kitchen table, red ink. You may have won the battle, but the war isn't over. Watch your back. I barely slept. Eyes on the tree lean, bat in hand, cameras rolling. One night, sure enough, I caught movement. 3 shapes, one unmistakably Veronica, gas can and crowbar, whispering. Burn it down, finish what we started. I called the sheriff, stayed hidden, and let the law handle it. This time, they weren't getting away. Handcuffs snapped, screams echoed, and Veronica spit at my feet as they dragged her off. You already lost, I told her. You just don't get it yet. Trial came fast. Arson, trespassing, attempted murder. The court cheered when the verdict hit. Guilty, long sentences for Veronica and Mark. The lake community, finally free, threw a party on what used to be my lot, now a public park. I sat on my porch, coffee in hand, Lisa by my side. You did it, Alex. You gave us our home back. I just smiled, letting the peace wash over me, lake glowing gold in the sunset. Sometimes the quietest guy is the one you shouldn't push. Sometimes, when you back a man against the wall, you find out what he's really made of. And maybe, just maybe, that's what justice looks like in the real world. You know what I mean? So, what about you? Where do you stand on this mess? Did I go too far, or not far enough? Drop your thoughts below. Tell me, does justice ever win against the mob, or do we just get lucky sometimes? Let's hear your story.